Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Minions of the Zoo. I'm your host, Johnny Hellcat, and with me today is Dax Orien.
I think I'm here. I'm starting to understand that I might have corporeal form.
Well, it's better than ethereal.
I mean, unless you want to go through like the shower curtains at like in a high school when you're 15,
Yeah.
then it's pretty nice. You're going to heaven jail.
So how's your day going?
Um, Slept a little too long, but for the right reasons. Got some panda.
I was going to get some panda today, but the line was way too long.
Yeah, I did a bit of a walk around the house. Is like, I really don't feel like anything. And yeah, decided to go with something I was familiar with, and I'm like, Beijing beef sounds pretty good right now.
Late is a subjective there, Rotten. How's it going, man?
Was it a wizard arrives exactly when he means to? So shut the hell up. Also, hi.
So yeah, I was given this image a couple of days ago, and I'm like, yep, I'm gonna stick with it for a bit. I like it.
Yeah, it's nice.
It's my new reactionary image at work. Whenever someone asks me to do something, I'll just respond with this
Because it means so many things at one time.
because I don't want to, but I'll do it.
I liked it as, you can also interpret it as and what am I going to receive if I do?
Exactly.
Yeah, we both had avatar changes recently. I'm actually still very happy with Kefki's work.
Yeah.
I am an otaku, after all. I'm not a pure weeb. I'm more for the culture than anime, but I love anime. But I like the style. She always does good work. And you always have the best cat memes.
I do. Well, I mean, I find
Oh,
them.
hello. Well, possessor, controller, whatever. Distributor is a good word for it. And of course, I mentioned cat, and then mine shows up and has to get attention. What do you want?
I heard a three-letter word here, so give me.
Yeah, he prefers the four-letter word, but he already had some of that. In fact, you got fed before I did, so shut up. If streams were period, Johnny would be pregnant.
Well, would it help if I had a bloody nose?
I mean, it depends. How'd you get it?
Well, having shit sinuses.
No, because it's not anywhere near as funny as it could be.
Yeah, it's more sad than anything.
I like the idea of strawberry milk. That's my favorite form of bloody nose. You know how you get that, of course, right?
Hmm.
Like you're laughing so hard on one of those spit takes that the milk comes out your nose, but you also get the nosebleed at the same time, so you make strawberry milk, essentially. You don't see it very often, but every time I do see it, it cracks me up way harder than every other form.
Yeah, I can see where that'd be bad.
Yeah.
Hey there, Mr. Yes, and how's it going, Kefki?
Hey, there she is. We summoned her.
Oh,
FAR also does good work, yeah. I need to get another sticker from FAR eventually, because that was on my old rig, and I realized I don't have the Wumagachi anymore.
Actually, my kids want an an update to their avatars. So they don't want the dog and the well, the dogs like they have now. My older son has decided on a capybara, and my younger son has decided on a rat.
Very regal choices.
Mm-hmm.
He does realize that puts him lower on the food chain than you, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
I can still whip his ass.
You'll always be a little mouse to me, rat boy.
I remember thinking back. I can't remember his name offhand because I had actually thought about it earlier at work because they were talking about one of the gals that I work with. She's from Louisiana, and she was talking about eating gator, and
Delicious. Tastes like chicken.
exactly, it's like a more tender chicken.
I love it. If you guys can actually get some gator, do it.
Oh, absolutely. And um, I had thought of a video, and I can't remember. I saw it on Twitter, and I don't remember whose profile I saw it on. And I know that he's from Africa, and it was this lady who was letting her dog chase after gators, and it was the first two parts of the video. Dog, it's like a little like lap dog, like Chihuahua, not Chihuahua, not tiny, but maybe like a mini blue heeler or something like that.
Okay.
Chasing after a gator, bah, 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 nips at the ankle, gator runs off. And the second video, dog takes off, uh, rah, 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 nips at the gator's ankle, gator runs off. Third video, or third part of the video. This is when it takes a tragic turn. Dog, rah, 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 and this lady is laughing her ass off. And oh, look at my clever ass dog, chasing after this gator. Runs headfirst into it. And I'm like, when it gets to, because you in the first two parts of the video, you see it kind of go around, which makes me wonder if it's the same animal. Like, it has to be three separate videos. But this dog goes headfirst into the gator, and I'm like, as soon as it gets to that line where it's like, oh, I wouldn't go there if I were you, and then it takes a step, and it's like, I know how this is gonna end. So you literally hear roar, snap, and the dog yelping.
Oh God. Oh no.
And then the lady's like, "Oh, my dog," and I'm like, "You're a fucking moron."
Yeah, that's pretty dumb, honestly. That poor dog.
And yeah, I'm like, and yeah, gator runs off into the
Into the swamp set.
into the swamps that it came from. And it's just like, oh no, it's just like, and it's just like, she's gonna be like, oh, gotta get another one.
I was gonna say, imagine going up to like the local shelter and be like, "Yeah, I would like to get a dog. Didn't we just get you a dog last week?" "Yeah, Gator got him. Anyway, about the new one."
Yeah.
Although I wonder how much of a natural occurrence it is down there. I lived in Florida briefly, and I didn't ever really encounter them like regular Florida folk do in their backyard. But I always wondered. But we also had 2 German Shepherds protecting the facility, so I think we were okay.
But yeah, that's what made me think it like the third video, especially with it being like a mini blue heeler type dog, that I think it was a completely different animal. Because especially with the blue heeler, it knows how to remove said pest from yard. It knows it's a gator, and it's not gonna like run head first into this thing where I'm like, oh yeah, teeth are here.
Yeah. Yeah, most dogs aren't that stupid, even the little shits.
Well, this one was.
That's why I said most, because I know they exist.
Yeah.
My neighbor had one like that. God, I hated that little bastard. And I love dogs, don't get me wrong. I still, don't want to see any dog like hurt or anything like that. But this one was a fucking idiot. Little Chihuahua wouldn't shut the hell up, had that super bulge eyes. I'm pretty sure it was also a pug mix in its previous life. And I swear, it did not know how to breathe with its nose. Its mouth never closed. God, this little bastard. He always try to bite you, too, when you walk by.
It's like that mouth breather from Hey Arnold.
Yeah. That poor guy. I forget what his name was.
I don't remember, but yeah.
What if they gave him a name? That's a series I should watch again. Hey Arnold is pretty good.
Those were the days.
Sure. Because you look at it from the perspective of an adult, you're like, oh, this is kind of reminiscent of like, I wouldn't say inner city, but the average like lifestyle child of New York City. It's just, the streets look the same, they look at least similar or whatever. You can kind of extrapolate that they're kind of like saying, hey, this was what New York is. But as a kid, you're just like, you don't really care about any of that stuff. It's just people having like little mini adventures and slice of life stuff. So it's cool that sometimes like your chosen media actually improves as you get older because you can see different vantage points to it. They always have good well, not always good messages, but usually good messages. One being apparently that if you stalk someone long enough, eventually they'll say yes. Love how there's no argument to it, because you can't.
What was that kid's name?
I go rant on stalkers. You're like, I'm just looking up that dude. He goes,
I'm sidetracked.
you know who I hated in that show? Helga's sister. Wasn't her name Olga?
Yeah, I think so.
God, she was annoying. It's like she always meant well, and you're like, oh yeah, you're a nice person. I don't want to hate you, but shut the hell up. Oh, it could be Seattle. Yeah, it had to be one of those like areas where it's just like a set of like really compact buildings where there's like really no space between them. You don't have front yard, you don't have backyards. It's just building upon building. Like it could be Vancouver for all I care.
Your yard is the street.
Yeah. Yeah, your front yard, literally up to the steps, is your yard. And that's it. And it's like, yeah, your little block in front of you, and then the person next to you has that little block in front of you, and you're only separated by about 5 feet.
Let's see. Brainy.
Oh, yeah. I don't remember if they gave him any speaking roles.
It was like very low. Like very low word count.
I bet. Yeah, I always reference Stoop Kid. Stoop Kid left the stoop. Chase it down, dude. I was gonna kick his ass. Funny shit to me.
Tim Curry was in that.
What role did he play? I remember he was in there, but I forget what it was.
Lechlater.
What?
Oh.
Was that in the movie?
The theater critic and stage director. I have no idea.
Oh, okay. I think I remember that. Okay. They were like having a play or something. Yeah. I heard that. One of your minions is very excited.
Yeah, he's not letting you in. Shut up.
Wait, you can tell yours no?
I always tell mine no.
I tell mine no, but it doesn't stop until I do.
And it's funny because my wife, who sneaks the food to the animals, and then they come look at me, and I will stare them dead in the eyes while eating my food.
Oh, I'll do that. It's like I know I fed him, and he's like, wait, can I have some of yours? I'm like, no, asshole, you had 2 sides of a bowl. I put both sides full so you wouldn't bother me. Oh, Lockjaw. I don't want to be sad. That's not why I'm doing this. That was a great show. Like, I love that show. Most people remember like Rugrats before the art drastically changed. Those were the days of Nickelodeon cartoons ruling the world. Doug, Angry Beavers.
Yeah. I barely remember any of the Hey Arnold show. Like, there's a couple things I remember, but ultimately, I don't remember shit.
Like I said, it's a slice of life. That's the thing. It's like those are common everyday events, but you see them through slightly fantastical eyes, which is why I love. Speaking of weeb shit, there's a series called Azumangadayo. It's literally just some girls in high school, and they're just doing normal shit. They always have something fantastic about it. And that's what, those kind of things will almost always have forgettable episodes, but you'll remember the show being awesome. Mr. Yes didn't like Kimiko? Oh. I heard a lot of criticism when she had originally came out, because I'm still young enough where I didn't really have a stake in the development, but getting to that point where I'm starting to think about being older because I'm about to get into high school and all that crap, it's like, all right, so the context of it all was that she was basically a clone of Tommy, but in little Asian girl form, because she was just as brave as him and as smart, if not smarter, and was like kind of like just like how I feel about Miles Morales. But yeah, no, I can see why you don't like her. She didn't really bother me too much, but I can see why.
She's a Miles Morales Pickles.
Yeah, pretty much. Kilometer Morales.
I do not like SpongeBob, but I like all the actors.
I liked early SpongeBob. Again, when the animation style changed, when I knew it was gone from me. I didn't have to care after that.
Well, didn't they make it a more...
Morals. Kilometer Morals. That's funny.
What was the... Cal Art?
Cal Art. Ugh. Cal Art is the bean style.
Oh. Yeah.
It's like I'm trying to remember the one that everybody likes with all the stupid gems and shit. Steven Universe.
Oh, yeah, no, that's
Cal Art.
ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't like that stuff. I'm not saying it doesn't have a place. It's just, even as a kid, I wouldn't have liked it. My tastes really haven't changed that much. Like, shit, somebody could put old Rugrats on right now and I'd probably still be entertained.
Probably.
That, too, there was that big transition, Mistress brings up, between old-style media with hand-drawn cells and then the influx of, like, flash animation and new digital techniques. Like, Drawn Together was all hand-drawn, for the most part, until you got to the movie, which was the jump over to like Flash. And those of us who like get, I don't know if we're more aware of it, it's just if everyone can see it, because I don't know how obvious it is to some, but I notice little things that change in animation quite easily because it bothers me. It's like one of those nervous little ticks you get. But you could tell right away it was Flash animation, and it didn't really hurt it a whole lot, but it felt weird, so you're kind of focusing on it in the background. That's what happens when all these shows turn to like new style art. It's just like, how do you feel about it? It all depends on how much time you're exposed to it, I guess.
Now, with what you mentioned, that was to a movie, right?
Yes, Drawn Together got a conclusion in form of movie.
Now I can see where they can go if you're going from TV to movie. I can see where the Flash thing would pick up, because that way at least it makes it feel like a whole different medium. Things that's supposed to be a movie, so of course your animation style is going to be different.
This one happened to be born out of the necessity that they just didn't have money to pay for the old style, and Flash is cheaper.
That also would help.
Well, I'm glad we got something. It was funny for what it was. Some of the character things were interesting. And I mean, I guess it's not really a spoil for something that old, but they kill off Clara, and I'm like, okay, why? And it's like off-screen death. I mean, she's gonna be dead, but it's, Drawn Together. Why should I believe any of them are dead? She should have popped up at the end or something and made it funny, but no, she stays dead after they kill her.
It's like, what did I miss?
And she's like, you took away for half a second. It's like, what happened to Clara? Oh, what year was that? God. I guess I'd have to look up when Drawn Together came out.
I only really watched the first season, and I was like, well, part of the first season, and I was like, yeah, I wasn't a fan.
Well, there's a lot of good stuff in the second season. Some of the first season, it's a lot of intro and a lot of you to expecting to just jump into it. Not to say I didn't like the first season. I'm actually rewatching it recently. Somewhere in the second season. I don't remember where I left off. They have a casino episode with like Native American stuff.
Oh, you don't say.
Yeah, no. Remember, this was the edgy show. Like, how we all think like Family Guy and South Park were pushing it. No, these guys are literal walking stereotypes in all the worst ways. Like the white princess, Disney princess, was like a super huge racist. The person who was the video game character was, based off Link, but was super gay. Your superhero was like the worst possible version of Homelander with no morals. It's like whatever he felt like doing. And they were all debauched. They would like just bang on the drop of a hat. This is like anything you could think of that was just gross and stuff they tried to put into there in some way, shape, or form. And most of it worked for me. Obviously, not everybody likes it, but I liked it a lot. Oh, I think you're talking about the Clum Babies episode. Oh, man, that one makes me laugh. It's like Woldor was like explaining, or they were trying to find out how, like, I guess I don't remember exactly how they got onto the topic of it, but Woldor was showing the other castmates how he jerks it, and it's like this convoluted, like crazy zany thing because he's the embodiments of the most deranged Looney Tunes character you could think of. Mm-hmm. And he just spits up this like gigantic Clum baby, and I'm saying it like that on purpose because it doesn't quite look like a regular drop. It's out there.
I liked Ugly Americans.
I'm trying to remember what that one was. The name sounds more familiar than the show.
That was. Let me see if I can pull an image.
Oh yeah, and it turns out the Clum babies had like magic healing properties. So if it like got on your body, you're cured of whatever was ailing you.
Let's see here. Let's present.
Oh yeah, I haven't watched that one yet. It's on my list. I like giving everything a fair shot. Is that one any good?
It's all right. I mean, I haven't seen it in years. It probably. I'm wondering how it is aged. But yeah, it's. What the hell does he even do? I think he's like a case manager or something. And he's dating the demon lady who's standing next to him, and his best friend turned himself into a zombie to go to get women. Because the chick he was into at the time was into necromancy.
Okay, that's pretty funny, actually. That's a good sign. If it gets me laughing just off a premise, I can at least find something to attach myself to.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. It was pretty well done. How many seasons did that go? That had to go 2, right? No, only 1. Ran for 2 years, but yeah, only. Oh no, 2 seasons. That's right. Okay, yeah, he helps supernatural creatures adapt to life in the city. And he runs.
I knew nothing about this. It's just on my list. Is this seriously? Okay, keep going.
He runs it like a support group.
I was haunting this lady's hallway, and I followed her into the restroom, and there's this device that she keeps hidden away from everyone. That's all I could think. They're just like traumatized. Oh man, is it actually that funny?
It's been so long, I hardly remember.
Oh, that hurts it though if you don't remember.
Well, it was from like what was the year? 2010, 2010 to 2012. So yeah, it's a good 13 years ago.
I mean, it's still probably funny then, because if it has a fun concept and it was before the age of the super cancel, I think I might be okay.
Oh yeah, it's definitely before the age of that. I think I didn't really like the second season though.
They just
That
jump off the rails from the first one, or just they didn't. You feel like they didn't have anything else to say, and they probably should have quit.
probably.
Yeah, that happens a lot. Sometimes a show, even if one I love, sometimes it's just better to let it go. Just say, hey, I did one really awesome season. Bye.
Well, it's like I remember Critical Drinker talking about BoJack Horseman.
Yeah, I really liked the first season.
The first few seasons were pretty good, and then it just gave up. And then,
Yeah.
and then from what I understand, the last season's actually pretty good. But I haven't seen anything past I think season 4.
Look, Assassin, I don't know what you're thinking about, but I wasn't at all thinking about Frozen, but I know what I can do now. All right, just watch yourself, okay? Assuming I was referencing a movie like that. Disney slop doesn't get referenced unless it's old Disney slop. Legit, even to now, nowadays, Aladdin is still one of my favorite movies. It's a very classic story. It's like a dude whose only problem was being born, unwealthy, and what can happen if you actually get a fair shot. And he's like, no, you know what? I'm not going to get a fair shot. I'm going to cheat a little.
Yeah.
And it was just awesome. Because it showed that because he cheated, it actually led to more problems in a way. So it was kind of cool. It's a good lesson.
Yeah.
Plus, we didn't like Robin Williams. They made a carpet have personality. Said now we got Olaf or whatever the fuck the little snowman thing's name is. Is it Olaf? Assassin, is it Olaf?
It is Olaf.
You weren't supposed to take away my punishment for him. Yes, that is when they had talent. Oh my god, that's like the ultimate sadness is that we went from one of the most creative facilities in the entire world to slop production in killing franchises that have been long since dead, were revived on good faith, and then crushed because they got a hold of them. Like, even the good shit in Marvel that came out from them is just, it felt like only because we already had too much established, and for them to change it would be too noticeable. And now, after they started changing it, we're like, oh, this is why we didn't want you having control. He's got a point. There was that mass exodus to Pixar.
Yeah. I think one thing that would have probably saved Disney with their, with their Marvel stuff is if they did what they did with um, the animated films. You make, I mean, you can have your sequels. And I think what they did is they just tried to conglomerate all this shit together. And then they're like, we've created this massive universe, and now we're just going to expand it infinitely. And it's like, don't do that. Like, they could
Yeah.
have just done, like, One, two, three. There's your section. You're done. You can still have the setting as your universe, but you don't need to continue there. You can just be like, that no longer exists. It's in its own vacuum. Like, you can mention it.
You have to say references are fine. As long as it's not the majority of your movies and like, oh, I wonder what these guys would have done. I mean, yeah, there are movies that's literally the plot is that, but when you turn it into a trope and you're expecting it, it's just like, come on. Make your movie stand on your characters and your story. You can just use the universe that exists. Star Wars was a playground for ideas that could have gone by. Not everything had to have a Jedi, and if you had Jedi, you had to set it in time where Jedi were more prevalent. They didn't all have to be Skywalkers or Palpatines or Kenobis or any of that shit. But instead, we got Acolyte. Someone explained to me who thought that was a good idea. Like, I want to be that fly on the wall during that pitch session and go, okay, lesbian space witches, immaculate conception, and then they try to kill their own daughter. How does... Huh?
And then say, oh, I was going to give her to you.
Yeah. Oh, I was just mad. Yeah, great excuse. And yeah, Rogue Squadron is a perfect setting they could have done. Who wouldn't want to see Wedge Antilles kicking ass? The introduction of like Kyle Katarn could have saved us all of Rogue One. It's like we had stories, we had stuff you could have done, and they chose not to. They had a fan base already set up to explore all the universe, and they decided to just drop us off in the nearest pool with no floaties, and we're just toddlers, apparently. They're like, yeah, you just got to go and wade out into the deep end. We're about to change your entire universe around. But it's okay. We promise. We're here to protect you. And they just turn around and start drinking their beers. We're the toddler in the pool, floating face down.
300 kicked into the deep end.
Yeah.
Which is funny, because when I was learning how to swim, my uncle did that to me.
Oh, no. Fucking dick.
Because, yeah, we had this little swimming area. Like, it was a river that was pretty close to our house. And we're sitting here, and I'm sitting on this stump that's, it's been cut. And my dad saw it because it was an actual tree there. And my dad's like, this is a good swimming hole. That's not shading anything, so we'll just cut that. And so, yeah, it was a perfect diving board for the river that we were in there, because it was just deep enough to where it wasn't like, I think it was maybe at the time, I'd say a good 10 to 12 feet. And then it like immediately picked up to like 6 feet deep. Because it wasn't that big of a river.
Sure.
So I'm sitting there and I'm doing that little like I'm edging closer and closer, and then like you're throwing your balance back so you can do this. And he goes, I'm like, okay, I got this. I can do this. And my uncle comes up and he goes, you ready? And I go, not quite. And I'm like, I'm close. And then he just goes, and too bad. Bam. And just drops me in. Like, boot to the ass. Just, I'm in the water.
In you go, kick.
Yeah, my mom was less than pleased. And he's like, he lived. He got it.
He figured it out.
She's like, this is a river, motherfucker. Like,
yeah, that's the thing. Like, if you were in like one of like a neighbor's pool or something, I could see that being like not really okay, but at least more understandable. It's a river; it has current.
Yeah, I mean, granted, I was surrounded by a lot of people who could swim like far better than I could.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm not ready for that shit.
Yeah, like you got to think about stuff like how much effort it actually takes to save somebody from drowning before you like launch somebody into a deep end.
Yeah.
It is not pleasant. I don't know if you've ever had to like drag somebody who's unwilling or unable to assist themselves across a body of water. I've done it. It sucks dick. There's no fun to be had.
I remember, and I can't believe I fucking did it. In Great Falls, I was visiting a buddy of mine. Let me see if I can bring this up on Google Maps.
Yeah, they did the writer's dirty, Rod, and you're not wrong.
Because one time, went to go visit a bunch of buddies of mine, and we were shit faced, just absolutely hammered. And I think this is around 2004, give or take. And let me see if I can find the river. Because this was the Missouri River, by the way, which is one of the stronger rivers in the state. Let me bring up the satellite here. Yeah, I think I found it here. All right, so I will present this. Hammered off of my ass, I decided I was going to swim from here all the way over here on a whim. I could do it. I can make that. It's no problem. I swam in high school.
That's a really dumb decision.
Especially when you're fucking intoxicated. Like, I didn't die. Clearly, I'm here. But yeah, by the time I got to this end, I'm like, yeah, I don't want to go back, but I'm not fucking walking. Because I could have just got up and just walked all the way across, down, and back over.
Yeah.
But by the time I would have done that, my evening would have been over. So
all the sadness.
So
but you risk for the laziness.
And of course, with the current, as we were going up here, I went along with the river, so I ended up like down here. Like, so I probably could have just gone over here, over and over. But I'm like, so I'm gonna walk my happy little ass all the way over here, and then I'll start swimming, and then because if I was here and I ended up here, if I come here, I'll be at least around right here. You know, close to my buddies.
Uh-huh.
I ended here. Like, so yeah, color me shocked.
Yeah, it's genius.
So granted, a couple of the ladies dug it. Like, that was so awesome. Yeah, I'll never do it again. So enjoy it while it lasts. In fact, as I was swimming back, I think it's somewhere around here, a boat came up, and I'm like, I should dive down because they don't see me.
Had you taken a water safety course at any point in your life by then?
No.
Okay, it should.
Well, when I jumped up to dive down,
well, that's a bad idea. It's called propellers.
Oh yeah, I didn't think about that until I dove down there, and I'm like, I am so fucked. Well, as I jumped, I did like this, where you like when you're doing like breaststroke, and
Mm.
you push yourself up, and then you dive down. Well, when I pushed myself up, someone on the boat actually saw me. So when I dove down, they turned, and the current kind of pushed me back a little bit. So fortunately, yeah, it was without incident.
Best decisions you've ever made.
And when I got back, I'm just like, I'm never doing this shit again.
Anybody's got the bragging rights saying, yeah, I crossed the Missouri River
Twice
twice.
without a boat.
And without a.
Well, it was a fast current, was a fast flowing river. So I, if I were to do a dead man float, I would have been like, bring that map back up here,
Again.
because I was exhausted by the time I got here. If I would just decided to do a dead man's float, I would have probably ended up like here in no time. This is this is a decent moving river. So yeah, it's I was not a fan of the flow of that river because it. I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna see if I can go as little against the flow as possible. Which going this way, you know, I guess this is northish. Um, yeah, going that way was a little bit easier because it's more over like I was just going that way, so it's kind of going with the flow of the river. Even though I was over here, I was try and hit here as much as possible, but I was so fucking exhausted. Hey Jen. Yeah, I couldn't care less about Black Snape.
I have no interest in this show, so it doesn't bother me as much as it could.
Am I surprised? No, absolutely not.
I expect everybody on that show to be like, well, we are here because even though she's a bigot, and I expect just that to be the message from everyone. Or they won't be allowed to talk about it and he just did something real stupid, but like I said, if she's evil enough that you didn't want to support her in any way, you wouldn't be doing the part. That's all I gotta say about that.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much.
Oh yeah, other than agreeing with Jen, I hope they lose money. But that's just because I'm a petty little bitch sometimes.
Well, I think that goes with anything that if you have an established story, like you don't need to change anything. The story's already there.
Yeah.
Which is why all these reboots and shit are just a waste of time. You're just taking characters and just writing your own shit. Like
Yeah, it's fan fiction editing. That's all it is.
well, it's like with shit. I can't think of his name. But the James Patterson book, Cross. They have an updated version of that, and I've only gone through like 3 episodes. But one thing that they've done is they've taken a 1990s character and they put it in the 2020s.
Yeah, isn't that Camel's like concerned with like the Reacher series too? Because I haven't watched that.
Yeah, it's actually not bad as far as I go, but he's also read the books, so
Yeah, that's like when somebody tells me about certain series. It's like, yeah, like look, good example. I was going to bring up actually, so I'm glad it segues into this nicely. Shogun, I've said before, is my favorite book. For those who didn't know, James Clavell, wonderful book. Ends up being like 6 or 7 books deep. I don't remember. They all take place over different decades and periods of time and all this stuff. It's great. First one's obviously about Japan during the feudal period and Sengoku period at the end. And watching that transform from that to the miniseries that we got in the what was it, 70s or 80s, whatever it was, I think it was the 80s. That series, miniseries, was amazing. It was as close as I think you were going to be able to get to including as much of a book as you could with the budget that they had, and it's great. But then we have the new one where it takes characters and either completely dumbs them down or changes their personalities or even just becomes an amalgamation, which I understand that happens a lot where you take 2 characters and put them into one for whatever reason. But they were just doing some weird changes for the show, and it's not like it's a terrible show. I'm not knocking it. I like most of the actors in that. Like the whole production's pretty cool. It looks great, but they make the lead guy from the books, or at least one of the main guys, because it's a nice enough story where you can say there's several main characters. But the guy we're introduced to, which is Blackthorn, the white character there,
mm-hmm.
and they make him such a kind of like a wussy bitch in the show. And he's not like that in the books. He knows when to fight. He's not like always looking on like I'm going to kick everyone's ass, but he's not afraid from the fight, and he knows when to stand upon his principle. And he tries, goddammit. And just this new production just makes him seem like he's not going to try that hard to do anything, and just everything is going to be fine. All he has to do is snivel. Like all the other people, though. The Rodriguez was cool. In fact, John Rhys Davies was the Rodriguez in the miniseries, which is really awesome.
Huh.
He really sold the role for me. I can't even imagine like the character looking like anybody else besides him now. They used to have it on YouTube, and I don't know who decided it hurt somebody's feelings so bad that they had to remove it. But it got removed before even the Hulu series came out. But if somebody else can find it and put it online somewhere where I can see it, I'd like to rewatch it. Just let me know.
Reacher is a Gary Stew who can do anything. Um, I mean,
digitize it for me. Sorry.
I mean, you're not wrong. He is kind of established as a. But I think they also kind of bring that in from the movies as well. Um, Assuming that you know who Jack Reacher already is.
I was only vaguely aware of Reacher before. Like I was aware it was a book, and I know Tom Cruise did a movie,
too.
And I had heard they did a show, and yeah, until he brought me onto it, I had no idea.
And the movies were, oh my god, like movies were ridiculous.
Like bad or good?
Um, I don't know. I've never read the books. Just
Well, how'd you like the movies? Let's like lay it all on the line. What'd you like as a movie?
As the movies themselves, they weren't bad.
Okay.
But if you're comparing book to a TV show to movie, TV show is way better. And I think most of that is because it's Tom Cruise.
I liked him in The Last Samurai a lot, and I know that's weird, but he did a very good Nathan Algren.
I didn't like the 3rd season so much, primarily because, and my wife and my boss, because my boss watched it, and I was like, "Have you seen the new episode, the new season of Reacher?" And she goes, "He is unusually aggressive."
What a succinct way of putting it.
And I'm like, because he's aggressive. That's not, let's not mince words there.
Yeah.
But he is much more aggressive in this season.
Hi,
Uh,
Keeper.
Thank you, Dan. And I would just say that the reason why he is mad is there, but it's not justifiable. Because, and this isn't spoiling anything. So, the big bad in the show, he finds out that the guy that he thought he killed is alive. And I think that's within like the first 3 episodes. And so it explains later on that the big bad killed an associate of his that helped him solve a case when she got started. And I think pretty much they are like, oh yeah, he immediately took a liking to her or whatever, because she just, you know, just as super brain deductive as he is. And so she gets killed off, and he's like, I'm mad. And then that's it. Like,
Wow.
there's no visual connection between character A and character B for him to be that mad, I guess, unless it's a military thing, which that very much could be. That could be something that is like a military behavior, I guess,
Yeah, maybe.
because you're working the same. That's your troop. That you're supposed to be loyal to your group, platoon, whatever.
Yeah, those guys.
Them folks over there. But yeah, I just maybe yeah, like maybe it's stupid non-military brain. Uh, I don't see, like, I can understand it, but I don't see it. If that makes sense.
Yeah, makes sense to me.
So yeah, but it's like when she died, and then he's just like snap guy's neck. There we go. This is justifiable. It's like no, 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 it's not. I mean, granted that doesn't happen in the show, but
Yeah.
actually it might. I don't remember, but yeah, no, I don't know. It just seems it's not against character, but it's like it just seems like it doesn't match. It doesn't match his emotion. I could see that. Yeah, what was your history? Yeah, I was an MP. And have a good day.
In my defense, I was taking a drink. I was muted. Can air actually be dead, though? I'm wondering if there's actually a scientific way to prove like an area of air is dead. Stagnant, maybe, but does that mean dead?
Nah, nah, nah,
Well,
nah,
then I don't
nah.
know.
Batman.
It's stupid.
Um, no, it's whatever.
I miss reading like book series when I was younger. There were a lot of like different things I could choose from a lot of different genres. Now I'm just not interested into it. You know,
Yeah.
it's like it's either I get into it now and I'm so far behind, or I keep checking every couple of years to see if my author put out something new, and it's like I hate waiting for new things.
I I understand, and I would like to think that I'm not going to say that reading is dumb. I just
No, no,
I
no.
I just can't do it. I
I
am
love
not.
to read.
I tried. There's very few books that I've actually picked up, started on page one, and was like, I'm going to finish this. I'm usually like, I can make it through the first chapter, and I'm like, and I'm bored. I completely, I'll come back to this book once, probably a good couple years from now.
I'm actually like the complete antithesis of that. Like usually when I pick up a book, I finish it in one sitting, or that's forever speak your piece there or whatever. It's like it's never going to happen. I finish it in like a very quick amount of time, or I probably won't get back to it for many years.
Yeah, I would say it takes me the one book that my cousin gave me was the old Dungeons and Dragons book, and I don't quite remember what
You got
series
bored
it
on a D and
was.
D book?
No, no, actually, it took me about a week and a half to finish it.
Hmm.
Um, but it was a series of three, and I just it was the lady and the one of the Sariel beings. Let me see if I
Hmm.
can find.
Was it books out of Ravenloft set?
Sarian. Sariel? Sarian? Let me see if I can find.
Well, I played a lot of D&D. I don't always remember like all the setting pieces and stuff. Like right now, everybody knows about Faerun and whatnot because Forgotten Realms is also just really popular. It's easy to follow comparatively. Then you got Planescape, stuff like that. Speaking of Planescape, Torment is one of my favorite games. It's an ISO game from many, many years ago, but god dang that ending. I haven't played it, so I haven't. I keep putting it off because I keep playing everything else. But I need to get back into that. Maybe I'll do that over the next 2 days. I'll start back up. Not tonight, though, because I know for a fact I'm going to be playing Oblivion pretty soon.
Let's see.
And yes, George R. Martin will never finish. I don't think he ever will. He's too worried about the hype now. You should just take the money and step away. Like you got paid. Be a producer on the shows. Who cares?
But he can go cry over fake direwolves.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Oh my goodness.
Nice.
Dungeons.
I to write little short stories when I'm at a desk spot at work when I get time, but haven't had the time lately.
Yeah, my cousin really liked the Dark Elf series, like the Drizzt series,
The Drizzt was good, yeah.
and those ones I didn't really like as much as the one that he gave me, and I can't. It's even mentioned in one of the Dungeons and Dragons games, actually, in the computer games.
There are a lot of them.
God, what was this? 90? 97? Sariel. This is the closest thing to memory. It's not him, but it's the closest thing I can think of that I can find. Oh,
Sorry, Els.
get rid
They
of
are
the
pretty cool.
don't want to get the boobies kicked at the get the stream flagged.
It's technically it's art. So those are the ones I first encountered, the second edition ones.
Yeah, this is closer. And in fact, it looks more like this one.
Yeah. They were just dinosaur people.
Yeah, second edition.
Yeah, I love that if you actually go deep diving in a lot of old edition books and whatnot, they have so much information on the realms, and a lot of people don't pay attention to that as like passive readers and passive viewers of it. It's like, yeah, you could be jumping into a bunch of different settings, like for these different places. It's like they might not even be in the same realm of existence and follow the same exact rules. Sometimes they have gods, sometimes they don't. Technically, there's all of Starjammer too. People don't think about that, but that is a. It was at least it was cool when I was getting into it. That was in the '90s. It was more of a map-based version of it. With the expansion was you could do like ship-to-ship battles, and I really enjoyed that in the fantasy of you're riding around in essentially what is like rowboats, Genghis Khan style, through the space lanes with like these dreadnoughts and like space sails and stuff, and just boarding each other like pirates and shit. It was awesome.
Oh my god, don't even start with that AI bullshit.
Well, I mean, if we must talk about AI.
Well, I just did a search of Dungeons and Dragons story with a woman and a Saurian, and it starts. Here's a potential storyline for you. And I don't want a potential storyline. I want the actual fucking storyline.
You're never gonna know.
Alara, a human scholar with a thirst for knowledge, stumbles upon a hidden cave while searching for ancient texts. Yeah, that doesn't sound boring as fuck.
What about a thirst for blood?
That's what he has.
What, they're playing Strahd?
I have no idea.
There's a joke. That's a famous vampire module for D&D. Curse of Strahd.
Well, let's just go novel.
It was very novel of them.
Instead of book. Because book just seems like, hey, yeah, it could be one of the books.
A book is just a book.
But a novel is so much more.
Pretentious.
Jeremy Irons, you should have never made that movie.
You don't like it's right. Oh man, that shit cracked me up when I saw it. Marina was cute though.
True.
She was on NCIS New Orleans for a while.
Yes.
But she had the pixie haircut.
Yeah.
Yes, he did. And the guy who played Prothean got to come back for one of the Fallout movies.
There he is. This bitch.
This
Alias.
bitch.
Daughter of a once described harper and bard finder Wyvern Spur. And then he became nameless.
Huh.
You know, pull this picture up here. This is one of the books.
Oh yeah, I remember that cover.
Yeah.
I didn't read it. I should have.
This guy was a badass in that story.
I like that weapon. It's like a club sword. The Clord. Maybe next time I run an adventure, I'll play with Sariel. They seem fun.
Let's see here.
Yeah, that would have been one of the Baldur's Gate ones, wouldn't it have?
But yeah, she's I think she's a construct, if I remember. Oh yeah, construct.
Oh, that's one of those little secrets that you probably find out while you're reading, right?
Yeah, and then you find out that the entity that's trying to track her down can't find her because of things. I don't know. I'm not exactly sure.
Other things. Yeah, wasn't she a harper? Oh, I'm trying to read fast now. Harper is a group, for those who don't know, like a band of like-minded individuals who do what they want, essentially, in the form of justice. Their justice, mind you, but justice nonetheless. And for those who played Baldur's Gate 3, you all should know what harpers are.
And Dragonbait.
Dragonbait! Champion!
A Finhead Sariel Paladin.
I love that he's a paladin. His name is Dragonbait.
He's a Finhead. Which sounds more like a slur than anything.
Oh, yep, he's a paladin of Tyr. That makes perfect sense.
Copper Bloom.
Well, I didn't think it was the chick on the left for a minute there. Like Ginger, Copper, got it.
Let's see. Handful.
And 2 other hatchlings, because they weren't important enough to name.
It's like, bitch, you are a handful.
It's like, for years we didn't have a name for you, but then one day it all came to us in a rushing form as you came in with both of your siblings' tails in your hand, detached from them. Actually wouldn't surprise me. Actually, it really would, because his species isn't actually particularly violent, if I remember right. I could be completely wrong on that. There's a lot of species in D&D.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he couldn't talk common.
Yeah, he had to use sense.
The Daelins. Neat.
I remember because my cousin had the game, and I don't remember which one it was. I think Curse of the Azure Bonds is what it was. That sounds familiar. Um, but you meet them while you're going through a maze, and it's like he's trying to lead you through the maze, but since he can't talk and you can't understand what he's saying, it's like, oh, you have the scent of lemon. It's like, bitch, just tell her, and then she can tell me. Like, someone can tell me something.
You are never to know.
But yeah. No, that was the I think there were 3 books in that series, and I think it took me. And what's really funny is people are like, "Oh yeah, I finished that within a couple hours." I'm just like, I fucking hate you because I can't pick up a book and be in it and then be done by the end of the day. That's
Eh,
just
you get better at reading your speeds once read a lot because you find that you don't necessarily read every word. Like that's how speed readers do, and you just find a nice, comfortable balance for yourself, and then it isn't really a problem. You finish a book in one day if you really put your mind to it. Especially if you need to put your mind to it, you don't really have to think about it too hard because your focus is getting through it. So as long as you're just getting through it to get through, you still have read a book. So
yeah.
there you go. And I think that'll work perfect for you.
Yeah,
Just like, I will finish you little shit.
yeah, the Drist ones, like I'm just like I can't do it. Curse of the Azure Bonds is actually on Steam.
Oh yeah, audiobooks too. Why don't you do audiobooks?
I do audiobooks.
Oh well, there you go.
Well, I should say I used to do audiobooks.
Now they
Uh,
won't call you back.
well, Amazon has decided that because I didn't deactivate my account, I made it so I would stop paying for it. So I still have my Audible account, but Audible has taken all of my books away from me.
Why?
I don't know.
Have you offended audiobooks?
Apparently. So all of my I have the entire not the entire one. I have a majority of the uh, Michael. What the hell
Crichton?
is his name? No, he's one of the James Patterson characters.
Oh.
Michael Bennett. I have the majority of the Michael Bennett series, and I have a couple of Alex Cross ones, and then I have uh, the Jeremy from Cinema Sins book.
I stopped following him and I don't remember why.
The Ables as a book is actually pretty good. I mean, it's nothing spectacular, but it's actually not bad. And I think what I like with audiobooks more is because of context. Like, if I have someone reading the story to me, I can understand how it was supposed to be interpreted.
Elaborate.
Um, moreover, like how like say if someone uses a word that can be uh, like read and read,
Or the wind.
wind,
Yeah.
something like that. I can just be like, I don't have to go back and be like, oh, that's what they meant.
Hmm.
Of course, the Azure Bonds is available on Steam as downloadable content.
I'm happy you're happy.
What's it the DLC from?
I don't know.
More DLC from this game. Okay. Franchise, Gold Box, Forgotten Realms. Dungeons & Dragons, Wizards of the Coast. Okay. That's all well and good. Oh, the base game, Forgotten Realms, The Archives, Collection 2. There we go. And it's by itself, it's $5. There's a bundle that has, oh dear God, Collection 1, Collection 2, Collection 3, Silver Box Classics, the Kryn series, Ravenloft series, Dark Sun series, Al Qadim series, Stronghold Kingdom Simulator, Dragon Strike, Deathkeep, Fantasy Empires, Spelljammer, Pirates of the Realm Space.
I still prefer to read, but I get the appeal of audiobooks. I don't think you guys are inherently lazy for not reading it. Some people just aren't good for reading either. It's like they just can't gel with it for some reason.
My brain just isn't. I'm not a reader.
Yeah.
It just doesn't do it. Which is why most of the streams that I have, when I actually feel like doing them, is reading. Like, even though it's like weird stories, our news articles, people getting be attacked by animals, fun stuff.
And then he ripped her leg apart with his bare teeth and his grim claw. What are we talking about? Oh, bear attacking in California. That's how I imagine you reading it.
No, it's not the bears that we usually go with. It's mostly the bison.
The bison.
Yeah, it's. I will never hearken anyone for reading. To do so is just fucking stupid.
Yeah.
I will make fun of someone who will read and then be like, I read in my spare time? Yeah, fuck you too.
Yeah, I read the warning labels on cigarettes. It doesn't stop me.
Well, and I was talking to my dad, and I always make self-depreciating jokes about hating reading. And he goes, you never really used to hate to read. You used to read stuff all the time. And I go, what do you mean? He goes, you always read. I couldn't get you to stop reading instruction manuals.
That's different.
That is different. But it's also like, it's reading's reading, but it's not like a book. But my dad saw that. He's like, well, you're reading something. Granted, it's not like, you're still learning how something works. Granted, if it was like the instruction manual for for a dishwasher, in this case, it was a dishwasher that I read at least, he said, a good 20 times. He's like, you probably could have had something break on that dishwasher and you would have been able to at least know what was going on with it. With as much as you read in the instruction manual. Which also, I used to read car manuals too.
It's just something fascinating about it. I used to do that too. Like maybe it's a guy thing.
I don't know. But yeah, it was just weird stuff that he noticed, and he's like, well, if none of that works, there's always the military.
Hey, I mean, look what comes of reading a book, though. Sometimes you get bad things that happen, like you get, the events of the Mummy and Beetlejuice.
But yeah, I'm like, I wish I was more of a reader than I am, but it is what it is, and I'm not changing that.
Yeah. Yeah, there's different kinds of reading, and I mean, we just touched upon the big one. It's like some people read to learn. A lot of people who don't read are like, yeah, I don't read nonfiction. It's like, so you read, I mean, you don't read fiction. So they're like, yeah, you read nonfiction, right? It's like, oh, yeah, tons of it. It's not reading to me, though. I'm just learning about something.
Yeah.
Like how you view what you're doing also changes your perception of what you're actually doing. You don't realize it, but you're technically still reading.
Yeah, I mean, it's still there, but yeah, it's.
It engages your brain, which is nice, but if you do other stuff, you can, it supplements it or even replaces it. Like if you're good with doing numbers in your head and never touch a book, you can have just as good cognitive functions as somebody else. There's really no downside. You just got to figure out what gets your brain moving so it doesn't stay, flaccid and unused.
Well, and what's really funny is uh, the way I got my job. Uh, my cousin.
Be careful. I mentioned the word flaccid, and now you're talking about your cousin.
My
Johnny don't read good. Yes, Campbell. He don't read good.
I don't read so well. I never learned to read.
Is that true? Yes, it's true. All but except the part about not being able to read.
But a buddy of mine, he's like, yeah, we're hiring claims techs. Just come on up and apply, and I'll put in a good word for you. Fair enough. And I'm looking in, and I'm like, okay, what do I apply for? Like, I can't find anything that says claims tech. Customer service. Sure, that'll work. And fill out my application, do my interviews. I get to orientation, and I'm like, I think I made a mistake. Because they're explaining the job, and I'm like,
an error has been perhaps made in this case. Oh, that's too funny.
I think I made a terrible mistake here. And so they put us through, well, they did put us through claims training. So that's where I was kind of like, okay, cool. I can see where this is going.
This is what they said it would be. Great.
And my friend's like, oh, yeah, when did you get hired? When did you get hired? I'm like, this last round. And he's like, why did you sign up for customer service? And I go, because I thought that's what you did. He goes, well, technically, but no, did they not have the position there? And I go, no. He goes, well, what did you apply for? And I'm like, customer advocate. And he goes, oh, well, good luck, man. Like, I'm just like, oh, fuck. So, no, it's my friend. My cousin is the Dungeons and Dragons book guy. He's mixing my stories up.
It's funny in a terrible way. It's like, didn't you read the thing you signed on the dotted line about? Come on now, man. This is your fault.
And it's really funny because most people are like, oh, I don't know if I can handle this job. And I'm like, I applied for the wrong job, and I'm still doing this. So you guys,
I wasn't even remotely prepared for this shit.
And so it'll go through, and like that's why most people, whenever they have claims questions, they'll usually come to me. And I'm like,
I don't know. I ain't your daddy.
And it's really funny because they're just like, well, how did you end up here? And I'm like, let me tell you.
Like, there isn't a day goes by that I don't ask myself the same goddamn question.
But yeah, so many people are just like, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I can do this. And I'm like, did you apply for the wrong job like I did? And they're just like, I have no idea what you mean. And like, pull up a stool and I'll tell you a story. So then I usually tell them that. And they're like, and you're still here? And I'm like, I can't fuck around. I have to. I have a job now. I gotta do it.
You agreed to it. I mean, you could have walked out. Actually, I think it shows a shit ton of character. You're like, oh, I fucked up. Well, let's see if I can do it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm here now.
Yep.
I want to know, like, the world's worst version of that. It's like, well, so I'm here.
That's like that lie on the job and you still get it.
Yeah.
A lie on the application.
I never thought that you'd agree to my ludicrous salary proposal. Turns out it's 12% under the industry standard. Oh, shit cracks me up. I wish all jobs had, like, straightforward titles. You know, none of this, like, sanitation technician, janitor. I mean, there's nothing wrong with being a janitor. Janitors rock. They have awesome stories. They know where all the best fucking vending machines are.
What do you do for work? I get yelled at by people when their claims don't process correctly.
So, like, all the time.
Yeah.
It never ends.
And it's funny because I've talked myself into positions where it's like succeeding on accident.
I was like that, Prep. I didn't mean to be good at this.
And, well, it's really funny because one of the positions I have now, when we were looking into bringing in a group, we were set aside, and they're like, so what we have you doing is you're going to be talking to the people from this group, and you are going to be strictly dedicated, because they haven't even signed up for it yet. Like, nothing has happened. They're just transitioning from one group to us. And so they're like, okay, people are going to have questions. That's all you got to do is just answer questions. And I'm like, that sounds easy enough. I can do that. So they're like, it's going to be strictly you. This is the only call that you're going to be taking. Fair enough. And he goes, and she goes, so in the meantime, you're just going to be working inventory that you have, and then when a call comes in, that's what you'll be setting up. Like, okay, I can do that. I went from taking 60 to 70 calls a week to 1 to 2 calls, or no, 50 to 60 calls a day to 1 to 3 calls a week. And I'm like, I am so fucking bored right now. Like, and I hate free paychecks.
Yeah. I know everyone's like looking at us right now and be like, you fucking idiots. It's like, why do you not want to get paid to just sit there and do nothing? Because I don't like being bored just about as much as I like getting paid. I just want to be home. I want to be enjoying myself. But I can't do that. I want to be at least engaged while I'm fucking here.
Welcome.
You fucking idiots. Free money.
No, fuck you.
Okay, so when everyone else is around you doing the same thing,
I get it. It makes the fucking time go by a lot slower, and that sucks. Don't get me wrong, but less squeeze for the same amount of juice. Sign me up.
Well, in one of the cases, the guy who sat next to me, he's like, okay, so I ended up with this case where this guy had all these claims were adjusted because they canceled his policy in error.
Those are fun.
And so they were able to fix it, and so the claims are adjusting back to the way they're supposed to, but when we adjust them, they're still asking for money back. And so we need to see about having these adjusted to where they were previously. And I go, okay, please tell me, for the love of God, how many claims is this? And he's like, oh, let me just take a look here. And I'm expecting, 10. He goes, oh, let's see, this is 1, 2, and I'm like, oh, so it's not many things at all. He goes, 3, 4 months worth of claims. And I'm like,
oh, that sucks.
How many? And he goes, 68. And I'm like, bring him on over. Like, I'm just like, fuck it. I am so bored right now. I will manually adjust these claims. I just don't give a shit. And I went over and I talked to my buddy. I'm like, is there, because it just so happened to be that it was the same provider. Like, all of these claims were the same fucking provider. Different services, but same people. And I'm like, oh, this is so much better. So I called the provider and I'm like, I see that you have the refund request. And she goes, yeah, I have them. We haven't responded to them yet. And I go, don't touch anything right now. Like, we have everything fixed on our end. I'm going to see if there's a way we can fix this so that we don't have to change any money back and forth. And I'm like, I'll give you a call back once we get something figured out. And I'm like, I got off the phone. And I'm like, fuck, I don't know if we can do that. So I talked to my buddy, and I'm just
what
like,
have I done?
I'm like, is there a way to adjust a claim to where, because we processed our claim, we made our payments, and then there's the denial, which requests the money back. Is there a way, because we don't have to worry about the refund, that we can get it to process originally? And he goes, oh, you mean the code reversals? And I'm like, oh, thank God you said that. Like,
that's lucky.
The moment he said it, I'm just like, man, I knew I liked you.
The light of God shone down and be like, you spared me.
He's like, oh yeah, just go through the claim and then you just put a 1 here and a 1 there. And I go, that's it? He goes, that's it.
What, you thought this was hard?
It's adjusting claims. Yeah. So I get through, and I get through like 65, or not, of the 65 claims, 65 claims, I get through about 45 of them. And then I'm reading through a couple of the notifications on here, and one of the big things says, per this group, do not adjust claims. Send all claims to this person. And I'm like, fuck. Like, I just adjusted 35 claims that I'm not supposed to.
Oh.
And I'm like, well, I'm already this far. Let's just keep going. And so I'm like, I'll finish it and then I'll apologize later. Like, I don't care. And I finished the claims, got them all back, got the refund requests taken care of so they don't have to worry about that. Called the provider, got that taken care of. And she's like, oh, thank God. I'm like, yep, just disregard it. We don't care about that shit anymore. We're good. Oh, you're godsend, blah, blah, blah. Okay, cool. Give the case back to the guy, and I message the gal who's supposed to get it, and I go, so here's the thing. This guy had this thing go down, and all these claims ended up denying, and all this stuff got put back. And she's like, 68 claims? And I go, yeah. She's like, fuck. And I go, well, I've already got them adjusted for you. And she just goes, oh, thank God you're a lifesaver. Like, she's like, I have so much on my workload right now. I go, we're not going to get in trouble for this? She's like, as long as it's done right, I couldn't give a fuck. And I'm like,
that's the attitude. I love it.
I love it. So
Is it done? Is it good? Is it right? Fine. Fuck it.
Yep. No, she's like, I don't care. As long as it's done right, you're good to go. And I'm like, okay. And usually if you mess up somewhere, you usually hear about it within like the first week or so. So I'm sitting here and I'm like, I'm just waiting for my email that says you fucked up somewhere while I'm working on other stuff. And all of a sudden I get this message from her supervisor. And they're just like, hey, this lady's leaving on vacation. What are you doing? And I'm like,
What you doing?
Working? Like, I'm working on this group over here. And he goes, oh, no, I just mean with her leaving and this other gal quit, who is her backup. We don't have a backup for this person. So when she was asked, who should we get as a backup for you? She's like, that guy. And I'm like,
that schmuck over there.
I don't want to. Like, so yeah. So now
I just didn't want to be bored.
And so yeah, because I helped with that case and it helped with as well as I did. Yeah, now I'm actually in charge with that group.
Good job on getting promoted on accident.
Yeah. Doesn't give me a pay raise. Just gives me more work.
That's always fun.
Yeah.
Well, I don't do jobs anymore that I don't get paid extra for, or at least paid properly for. And, the only thing I do for free is like computer tech work, because I don't want to work on a broken computer. If I know how to fix it, I'm fixing it. I don't got time for that shit. I got shit to do.
Yeah. But yeah, my coworker and I who train together, he's in his late 50s. We both make jokes that every time we go to our meetings with our supervisors, it's our we're gonna get fired meeting. And all it is just you're doing all right, go back to work type meeting, go in, go over some stuff, go over a call, done. And it's really funny because we have an ongoing joke that she is abusive, which everyone knows. Like, everyone knows this lady's reputation is she's not. But she had one of these meetings with another coworker of ours. And as he was leaving the meeting, his nose starts to bleed. And she goes, "Dear God, do not let John and him see you." And he's like, "What's going on?" Like, why? And he goes, "If you see them, they will never let you live it down." And so he's got a big old wad of cotton, toilet paper and cotton in his nose. And he's kind of like holding his hand to his face, like all subtle. And I notice it immediately. And I go, "What's that?" And he goes, "Oh no, it's nothing." And then it drops out of his nose, and I'm just like, "Oh shit, man, look at that!" Like,
oh my God, look at this loser!
She gave him a bloody nose.
She whooped his ass.
My teammate's like, "Oh shit." So yeah, we've been like, the joke was gonna die because it was kind of like we had no way to really go with it. When we would walk into our meetings, like I would play taps as loud as I possibly could on my phone, like walking through the office, which is extremely disruptive.
Yeah.
But people just absolutely love it. And we're like, jokes kind of just dying. And then he walked through with that bloody nose, and I'm like, you just reinvigorated that joke.
You brought it back, you super fuck.
So now she's a slave driver who beats on her underlings.
I'd never let her forget it.
Yeah, all because this other guy's bloody nose. that he just got on a whim.
Yeah, Johnny's gonna be the new CEO in 2 weeks, apparently. Ross has predicted it, so it shall be.
Yeah.
I'd like a job when you get to that point. Can I be head of security?
I'm sure we can make it happen.
Nice. I have good references.
So what I want to do, because we have a joke ongoing with me and my coworker, we're trying to establish corporate mandated nap time.
Yay!
And slowly but surely people are like, go for it, go for it. And there's a guy in the office. He is literally one guy below the CEO for the company. And he was walking through and he's just like, this is after I'm a Luigi.
I'm a Luigi.
I'm a Luigi. And so he was walking through and he actually stopped and talked to us for a bit because I'm just like, I go, if you walk down here one more time, we might as well just have you pull up a chair and just work with us. Because I didn't even know who he was at first. I just saw him walk past. And he's like, oh, yeah, I just had to get out of my office. Ha 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 ha. I'm like, yeah. And I looked at my cubicle. I'm like, I feel the same way. And he kind of just chuckles and he keeps walking. And my coworker goes, like, you know who that was? And I'm like, no. And he goes, that's the COO. And I'm just like, oh, shit.
Oh, man.
I'm like, okay, that's good. So my thought, as an April Fool's joke, and this is something I'm very cautious as to how I'm going to ask. So I want to see if I can get him to get the CEO during one of the town halls that they have. And this is a town hall that is played in front of 250 employees. And I want him to call us out directly and say, no, Johnny, there will not be a corporate mandated nap time. I would love him forever.
That'd be great. It would cement his leadership forever.
Oh, yeah. No, I'll go to the gates of hell for this guy if he does that. I don't care what he does. But yeah, like I'm just like I would absolutely love it. Just a drop. Like he doesn't even have to mention our names. He just has to be like, no, this will not be a thing. I would just be like, it just has to be named corporate mandated nap time. Those are the only words that need to be said. But yeah, like I mentioned that, I'm just like, if that were ever to be a thing, like, because of the fact that an entry level position got the highest level position to do something as a prank, quite possibly the greatest thing ever. What would you put on your resume? Oh yeah, I got the CEO to prank the company. I would totally do that.
That is actually fantastic.
But yeah, no, it's in the works. But it's more over like I can't just drop that on the lap and call it good. I have to sweet talk my way into that kind of discussion.
Yeah.
So from what I understand, because there's a lady that I work with that she's been there a good 20 some years. She's actually working on retiring, and she gets along with this guy like swimmingly. So
Good.
I want to see about setting up an introduction and just be like, so here's the thing. Can you make this work, sir? I would love both of you forever for it.
I like knowing a lot of the CEOs and stuff of the business, as it were. Just makes things not necessarily easier because of nepotism. Just you can identify who the person who like made your life miserable is, and that gives you reason to live.
Well, and actually, there was a leadership conference. I think shortly after our second year, and they had everyone there. Like everyone was there. Even the CEO, and with the town halls that the guy lids has, I don't know if it's like the way the camera is. It's like camera tricks. The guy seems like he's pretty tall, and
maybe he's a giant.
When I walked into past the town hall, I did a flyby because I'm like, I gotta see what this guy looks like in real life.
Mm-hmm.
I think my boss is taller than this guy. And my boss is like 4'11". So this guy is tiny. He's so short.
He's so small.
He's so small. And yeah, I'm like, I did not expect Tiny Tim to be walking like, I'm actually looking over him to see if I can find the CEO, in this group of people, and I'm like, "Oh,
who's this short motherfucker?
Get the
fuck out of here!
Get this bitch out of my way!" But yeah, no, I'm sitting here and I'm like, "Oh, that is the guy." Whoopsie.
See, that's the fault of the people who didn't warn you.
But
could have been bros.
Well, and I'm like, if I can catch him at an opportune time, I was actually going to introduce myself. Because there's not often that you get a chance to meet a CEO of a multi-billion-dollar company.
Also true.
It would just be like it would be like meeting the president. Why would I want to skip the opportunity, even if it was someone like Joe Biden or whatever?
Right.
I'm like, stay away from my kids, but yeah, I'll shake a hand. I don't care.
Can I get a sneeze guard?
No, stay the fuck away from me.
Your damaged goods don't come near me.
Oh, I got the president? People want to shoot that guy. No, I don't want anywhere near him.
Well, you go.
It doesn't matter what party they're from either.
You walk
Dangerous.
up. You walk up. You kind of look both ways. Feel like, shake your hand. Just duck the fuck out.
No.
High five. High five. Fist bump. Something. Riot shield. Would that help?
No. I mean, first of all, the politicians. That's an automatic no for me.
Well, yeah, no, you're not wrong.
I mean, CEO is like, all right, as long as it's not the company I work for, fine, whatever. Like when I worked for the tribe, if the chief showed up, he could fire you on the spot. Like, yeah, I don't want to meet that asshole. I'm definitely getting fired. You guys have heard what I've had to say about the tribe. You think, given the opportunity to meet that guy face to face, I wouldn't say some shit?
See, that's the difference between us. I'm the diplomat.
I'm impulsive. I didn't get where I am today by worrying about where I'd be tomorrow. Yeah, he might get a chuckle and he's going to shit can me. No.
Oh, that is the best thing I've ever heard. Get the fuck out.
Oh, that's hilarious. Here's your pink slip.
Yeah. And here's a restraining order.
It would be like the Festivus episode of fucking Seinfeld. Like, Merry Festivus. I got a lot of problems with you people. So yeah, like you don't want me to meet important people.
Not alone.
Not even with supervision. No.
Yes. Johnny Hellcat. Why is that man wearing a muzzle? For the exact same reason you don't need to know.
Why did you bring your gimp to this meeting? Like, he's not a gimp. That's just a ball gag.
Where was I supposed to put him?
How am I supposed to get him to shut the fuck up?
You just hear me, like, just,
custom gimp suits so you look like Kenny from South Park.
Why is that man wearing a hoodie drawn so tight at a black tie event?
Don't worry about that, sir.
You don't want to know.
Sir, do you know what plausible deniability is? Would you like some?
He's just here for the photo op.
He's here for the hors d'oeuvres. Don't fucking lie. He doesn't give a shit about the pictures. He's just here for the finger food. That's how I know. That's how I will know I'm in the wrong place, is if they have hors d'oeuvres, and they call them hors d'oeuvres.
Hors d'oeuvres.
Yeah.
Snacks.
Like, if you motherfuckers are speaking French, this is way too hoity-toity for me. Sorry. I gotta get out of here.
I can't.
You don't want to wait for the creme brulee?
I can't say snacks and not think snacks.
Snacks, I know, right? Don't know why. It's just, it has to be that way.
Yeah. Greg Giraldo made that way.
I want a snack.
Would you like snacks, sir? Snacks.
I still think about the joke he had about hiding him riding a motorcycle from his dad.
Yeah.
Like, why do you have these chaps? Like, no, I'm not riding a motorcycle. I'm going to gay leather bars. Oh, for a second you had me worried. And it bugs me when people say assless chaps. Like, no, they're just chaps. If they had an ass, they'd just be leather pants.
Yeah. Hors d'oeuvres. Shut up, Rodden.
Dude, I want to know what kind of parties you're going to, Rodden.
Eyes wide shut parties.
Where everything smells like tuna. Well, I don't know about you fellas, but I'm actually starting to crash a little bit. So,
yeah, a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. I was kind of nodding off when you guys were talking about work. It's like, yeah, this is a conversation I don't need to be a part of.
Ouch.
Well, yeah. Timing is key. But yeah, no.
Yeah, no. What was that? What?
I'm moving on.
Supposed to be a semi-professional.
I am moving on to tomorrow.
I mean, that's what happens with time, isn't it? It moves on to tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah. Tomorrow comes, and it's still today.
Yesterday is today's tomorrow.
Makes Annie more depressing. That's a Bo Burnham joke.
Welcome to the internet.
It's like, no, I'll do that tomorrow. Tomorrow comes and it's still today.
I need to watch this stuff again.
All right. So yeah, tomorrow it will be Hammer, Jen, and Terry to bring up their Wednesday show. And yeah, that's us for tonight. Zoo is closed. Have a good night, everyone.
I could take the gorilla.
Bye, everybody. Quack.
I really got to see about getting that sound clip to work without.
We'll make it work. We put a lot of effort into making that work. We'll get it.
All right. Yeah. Have a good night, everyone.
Bye, everyone.